Hangout is live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the P4Plexus Diaries. And today we have another wonderful installment with Rachel Daniels. And she is a senior gold ambassador. Rachel, how are you, my dear?
I'm doing great. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. So today we're talking about being a mom and working on being a Plexus ambassador, momtrepreneur as it is. Mom entrepreneur. Anyways,
Momtrepreneur.
mom is a momtrepreneur. Something like that. So yeah, we're gonna dig into that today. So, but first off, let's. Why don't you tell me, how did you find out about Plexus? Like, how did that come into your life?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay, Plexus. My cousin was the first person to introduce the Plexus name to me, and she's really crunchy and she's big into research. So at first I was like, oh, okay, whatever. But I knew that if she liked it, that there was something to it. And then my sister-in-law started using it, and I was to a point where I just wanted to lose weight and feel better, because after having 3 kids in 3.5 years, it was really, really difficult to just deal with day-to-day life, living on coffee and chocolate. That's not really what I recommend people do. Your body might revolt against you, which mine was doing. And so I just wanted to feel better, and I really wanted to lose weight. And so for me, we could not afford our products every month for me to take it. And so when I joined, I knew that I had to work the business. And it's not something that I realized that I would be so passionate about when I started. But I know for me that I have a really strong faith in God, and that I know that God brought me to Plexus for a reason. And that I didn't know what was in the store, but that these products have changed my life, and they've changed the lives of others. So, God really instilled in me that I was to help bring freedom to people's health, and then freedom to their finances as well. And so it's just been an honor and very humbling to kind of almost feel like you stumble into something,
Right.
but then to just find the purpose that you were meant to do in your life. It almost feels like by accident, but my belief in God, I know that there's not an accident that happened. And so it's just been amazing.
Yeah. I know. I kind of felt the same way coming into it. It was sort of like I stumbled into it, and at first I didn't really think that. I was like, oh, maybe like sell enough to cover my product.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden I was like, oh my God, Plexus. Mm-hmm. It was like a Cookie Monster for Plexus.
I know. And when the more you learn about it, the more you realize everybody needs Plexus. And that I say that without hesitation. The way that we eat in our American diets these days, everybody needs blood sugar regulation, everybody needs better gut health, and everybody needs reducing inflammation in their body. And Plexus gives you that in the most natural way that you can imagine, and a very, very easy way too. Like, it's not, you're not foraging your own food from the forest, like it's right there in a little packet that I just shake up every morning and drink and take a pill,
right.
And
exactly.
So, I mean, you can't make it easier than that.
Right. And then, so actually that leads me perfectly to my next question, which is basically like how Plexus fits into your life, both as a supplement and as a business. Because I know one thing that I hear from a lot of people who are thinking about doing Plexus, both in their life and as a business. For supplements, a lot of people are like, I don't have time. I never remember to take my supplements. I've got too much going on with my kids or with my job. So like how Plexus fits into your life as a supplement. And a lot of people see a business potential, but they're like, I'm way too busy. I've got my kids. I've got church. I've got my job. I've got all these different things. I don't know if I can add the business aspect into it. So how does really Plexus fit into your life for your body as well as a business?
Yeah. So for me, if somebody doesn't want to do something, any excuse will do. And are you too busy to put your health priority? Are you too busy to think that in 5 or 10 years that all these things aren't going to catch up with you? Because it's so easy to just drink this drink once a day, And something about the products, you know, I'm a really routine person. It is not hard for me to wake up in the morning and drink something first thing or forget to take a pill right before bed. But I know that not everybody is that regimented and routine. So, but something that I have learned over the last 16 months for doing Plexus is that you get these products in your body and they will work. There's no, like, you have to take it at this exact timing and exactly at this way. You just get them in your body and they will regulate it. So I've really gotten away from exact timings when I talk to people about taking their supplements, because I don't want that to be a hindrance in people's success, because Plexus is so beneficial to your body. So for me, you know, it's easy to be a little regimented with it, but if you're not, I really, you know, if your consistency is just getting it in your body once a day, then that's great. But if your consistency is taking it first thing in the morning, then that's great too. Whatever definition that is for you, you figure that out and then you get it in your body so it can do its job. So the supplements for me obviously is easier, but I do find the business, when you're first starting out, you know, you're talking to everybody and it's really all you doing a lot of work. And I have to say that fitting in a team that you're growing and you're training people underneath you, it can get a little tricky. And learning to prioritize, you know, what business building activities am I going to be doing that day? You know, who am I reaching out to? It can all become quite a juggle, you know, and I have to say that sometimes, you know, I have a child screaming next to me. I'm like, just one more second. I got to finish typing this sentence out to somebody so I can press send, you know, and it's tricky. I'm not going to tell you that it's easy, but it's worth it. You know, when, you know, my kids know I love them and I still get to stay home with them. And I know that this hard work that we're putting in now is going to pay off in the future, you know, and you just have to learn to prioritize, and you have to remember what matters. A couple years ago, I wish, a couple months ago, I got a little sidetracked with Plexus. I felt like I was focusing too much on adding people and just business building. And it just kind of took away my joy of, and God really reminded me, why am I here? I am here because we have a product that works, that everyone needs. And once I remembered my focus and my reason for being here, the joy came back. It wasn't stressful anymore. It wasn't something that I was doing, you know, because I had to get it done. Like you know, the joy came back, and the refocusing on helping people, because that's why I'm here. You know, if Plexus didn't have an amazing product, none of us would be successful in this business. And so just prioritizing, and it looks different for everybody, but for me, it means, you know, communicating effectively to my team builders and prioritizing. I don't know. It's so complicated on a day-to-day basis. I'm not going to say that it's always easy, you know. Texting while you have a baby in your arms is pretty difficult. So, but I love it. I love it.
And so then too, so in terms of, you talked about, like, you know, before you were taking Plexus, like you said, it was, you'd had like 3 kids in 3.5 years, which, oh my God. And then you were going on like caffeine and chocolate to kind of like sustain yourself through all of that. So once you started taking Plexus, what was like the biggest differences that you saw or felt and noticed for yourself as a mom, really?
Well, I definitely didn't have a lot of people there. I went through a really bad detox in the beginning. Not everybody hits it as hard as I do, but I hit it really, really hard.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Most people I tell are like, oh, it wasn't that bad, but mine was bad. Like, I felt worse. I actually gained 5 pounds my first month. I ate worse. I felt worse. I slept worse. Everything got worse. And you know, rightfully so. I was putting crap in it for years, and, you know, I wasn't giving it what it needed. So, but week 7 or 8, it just kind of like clicked. I was starting to like focus and move in the right direction. And I had energy. I didn't need a nap every day. I wanted to eat healthy food. It wasn't that I was craving it. I desired, you know, fruit and vegetables and protein, and my patience level, you know, it's just gone through the roof, you know, with my children. And you know, my husband and I have talked about, you know, adding children into our family still. And before it was like, no way. And now he's like, oh yeah, okay, I could see that happening, because it's almost like I'm a different person, you know, like I went from one extreme to the other of just really feeling like I can handle life again, because I feel like the better version of myself, you know? So.
Yeah. And that's so funny. No, a lot of people don't have detox like quite as bad, but mine was really rough. It was the same thing where it just got worse and worse, and then it finally got better. Okay, and I think you stalled out for a second, so I'm going to wait for the computer to catch up with us. Let's see what it does. Rachel, come back. Okay, while I'm waiting for this to get caught up. So that's something too that I was going to say to anybody that's watching, is that if you are dealing with detox, you're noticing like heavy bloat or anything like that, just keep in mind that that's totally normal, and it's really normal for you to feel worse than better. Rachel, are you back? There she is.
Yay, there I am.
Yay.
Okay. Sorry, I lost you for a minute. My internet went slow again.
No worries.
Okay.
Okay, so actually that's great. So you're talking about your husband, and something that I think too is really important is to talk about the fact that, since I know, like, I'm married, for example, anybody that's in a relationship with somebody else, what you do in your life is going to directly affect the people that are in your life. So thinking about that, how do you feel that Plexus has had any effect, if any, on your relationship with your loved ones, whether it be your kids or your husband or your friends? Like, what has it really done for you, adding that Plexus element in?
Yeah, so my kids, I definitely don't yell at them as much, so they're pretty happy about that. For my husband, I always felt like he would come home and I'd be like, talk to me. And now I have adult interaction and I'm like, hey, you know, what's up? Like, let's talk about our day, as opposed to like, you know, I need someone to talk to. So I feel like it's more balanced that way with him. And I actually have something to contribute to the conversation, other than I disciplined our kids all day or changed a poopy diaper. You know, he has work stories, I have mine. So, and I never realized, for me, like, I've always wanted to stay home with my kids and I love it, but I never realized how much I missed having goals with a job. And it's still, for me, like, really stressful to think about, like, if I ever had a job away from home. Not that I couldn't do it, but I just feel so blessed being able to do both, you know, be with the kids and have that flexibility with Plexus, but then also have goals. And I'm very self-motivated. So for me, you know, it's easy to come up with a goal or objective, or, you know, what are we going to be teaching the team this week or this month, and then implement it. And so it just really fits naturally. And I feel like I'm more satisfied in my self, so it creates a more even like marriage relationship, like, you know what I mean? It's not me, you know, looking for him always for all of my adult interaction. And as far as like friend relationships, that's kind of an interesting question, because I felt like a couple months ago, I really had to educate my friends that I worked. Like, I work 30 hours a week from home with my children. You know, it was like, well, why can't you have girl time, or why can't we have a play date? And I'm like, well, if I invite you over to my house, then I'm gonna have to clean during nap time, which I actually have to work during nap time. So it's kind of definitely redefining some relationships, which I don't think is a bad thing, but just kind of trying to figure out how what it will look like, because, sometimes it's like, oh, well, that really didn't work. So what are we going to do instead? That kind of thing. So.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Yeah. I think too, that's not just specific to like parents. I think it's true for anybody. Like I said, I have a husband and I have several friends, and sometimes, when it's like, hey, come on out, and it's like, hey, I actually have like a Plexus interview that I need to do tonight, or actually I can't. I'm working on a couple of other things to make sure that I feel prepared and I'm continuing with my business and staying educated on the product. It's kind of like the free time that you do have, you're selective about, because it's either for self-care, spending time with friends or your significant other, or Plexus.
Yeah, no, you've nailed it on the head right there. Yeah. But the great thing that I love about Plexus is the rich relationships that have come with it, because it's not just about like educating everyone else. It's also like, I've created some friends who will be my friend for life, that I would never have met because I know them through the channel of them knowing my friend who knows their friend who knows their friend. And so it's just been very rewarding and fulfilling in that capacity, for sure.
Yeah, and that's actually like, and exactly, I talked with Emily Roberts last week about and this is the next question that I have, which is, what is the hardest thing about being a Plexus ambassador and the best thing about being a Plexus ambassador? And the best thing she said was just like the relationships and the friendships that she's built. She said, like, I didn't know that I needed friends and I needed more people in my life. I thought I was good. And then some of these amazing people came into my life because of Plexus. So it sounds like that might be a similar thing for you about best and worst. I'm not going to put words in your mouth, but like, what's the best and hardest thing about being an ambassador?
The best thing is helping others for me. It's seeing people come to you sometimes desperate. Like, I mean, I can't tell you how many messages I've gotten, and they're like, I'm desperate. And that, I don't believe in multi-level marketing companies, but everything you post makes so much sense. So we got to talk. And just seeing people have the freedom in their health. And then equally watching my team having freedom in their finances, like truly, truly, one of the best things ever. Yeah. Those two things keep propelling me every day to keep doing what I'm doing, for sure.
How about the hardest thing?
Oh gosh. Balancing it all, juggling it all. And prioritizing, it's just so difficult. Like, and hold on, let me collect my thoughts for a second, or I'm gonna mumble.
No, it's great.
Instead of being distracted for 10 minutes, I need to put work aside to be with my family. So I'm fully there, because like my body can be there, but my brain won't be there. I'm just sitting there next to them. And so really remembering that they're why I'm doing it too. So there's a diamond in our company, and she talks about time blocking. And that's something that I'm starting to focus on more. Like, okay, before my oldest son goes to school in the morning, I have to focus on the kids or everybody's stressed out. I can't be answering messages on my computer. And then when I come home after we've done that, then I can like set the other two up with like an activity or something to do. And then I can focus for 30 minutes, and then we're not creating more stress. So kind of like learning the juggle is definitely the hardest part, because it's really trial and error. And it doesn't always look pretty when you're trying to figure it out.
Right. Okay. Okay. And then this one's actually like my favorite question to ask is, what's your favorite Plexus product and why?
I can't pick one. It's triplex. I'm sorry. I can't even pick one. I've tried before. You are not the first person to ask me this question. Slim is amazing. amazing energy, amazing taste. I feel amazing on it. But if it were not for BioCleanse and ProBio 5, I would still have IBS. Like technically I've had a diagnosis, but I have no more symptoms of it. And so there's no way that I can pick between those three. They equally hold near and dear to my heart, and I won't ever be without any of them. So
right. It's like I always pitch it as like the triplex is like the Captain Planet for your stomach. It's like with their powers combined, they make your gut a happy place.
Have you posted about that on Facebook? Because if you haven't, you
not
need
yet.
to. No, I am encouraging you. You will get some people being like, dude, I need to Captain Planet my body up. Like, not even joking. You got some great marketing ideas here, Megan.
You got it. You got it. Awesome.
Yes, you do.
Well, Rachel, thank you so much for chatting with me today. That's all I have. Is there anything else that you want to tag on to the end of our interview here?
No, I just wanted to say thank you for, reaching out to me, and it was my pleasure to talk with you. And I hope just it encourages you and other people in their business that it's worth it, and just stick with it, because you'll be so glad that you did. So glad.
Amen. Awesome. Rachel, thanks so much and have a good night. I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Megan.
All right. Bye.
Bye.